Hey guys, Trent here coming at you with another Rivals of Ixalan Standard deck tech. Today we've got Big Red. This is my take on it. So the idea is we start ramping in the early game and try to stabilize the board with sweepers and removal. And we're making treasures, and then we ramp into one of 12 6-drops here and some 5-drops. One being Sunbird's Invocation, where if we resolve one of these, every spell we play thereafter, which is probably going to be another 6-drop, just cascades into some craziness. It's a lot of fun. This deck is a blast to play. There is a lot of randomness to it too, which makes it fun. With Sunbird's Invocation, not knowing what you're going to get into, and also Combustible Gearhulk. When you resolve a Sunbird's Invocation, you can probably then cast a 6-drop and more than likely hit another 6-drop. So you can, it's pretty crazy. You can chain multiple 6-drops together in one turn, and just like your opponent doesn't know what to do. So we'll start over here on the left with a mana base. 24 beautiful mountains, and just a playset of Sunscorched Desert to make 24 lands. You could probably add in more utility lands if you want. The thing is, I want to hit double red on turn 2 for the Goblin, the Wily Goblin. The reason why we have these 4 Sunscorched Deserts is maybe paying a bit of damage on a Planeswalker. It could matter. If not, that's fine. The damage goes to our opponent. So the 2-drop spot in our removal suite, we got a couple of Braids. We got a full play set of Lightning Strike. A ramp card, our Wily Goblins, makes us a treasure. Puts a blocker in the way. I think one of the key cards to the deck, Treasure Map, 3 of them. We really want to see one of these all games. I could argue on running 4. I don't think it would be terrible to run a whole play set of these, but we're running 3. In the 3-drop slot, we got Captain Landry Storm, a distraction to our opponent that also makes treasures. Another kind of ramp card, if you will. Couple sweepers in the main board, Sweltering Suns. If they're good, we wipe the board. If they're not good, we can just cycle them away. Our other bit of card draw, other than Treasure Map, we have, and Combustible Gearhulk, potentially. We got a couple Pirates Pillages. Don't want to overdo these because you do have to discard a card, but this is a really good ramp spell that lets us filter our draw. A lot of times we'll have multiple Sunbird's Invocations in our hand, or the other Pirate's Pillage in our hand, or an extra land or whatever. So it's a really decent card in this deck. And it accelerates us 2 treasures, which is important. Our only 5 drops, we got a playset of Glorybringer. Just another good removal on a stick card. We have a total of 8 Glorybringer-esque kind of cards in this deck with the big dinosaur. So then our 6 drops, full playset of Sunbird's Invocation. We usually only need to cast 1 or want to cast 1 in a game, because after that we have a bunch of 6 drops in our hand that we just want to start playing the creature 6 drops. And we usually hit another 6-drop off the Sunbird's Invocation. So a playset of Combustible Gearhulks, just a big fat 6-drop that lets our opponent make a decision. We have so many 6-drops in the deck, we can maybe do 6 to 12, even 18, if we're really lucky, damage to our opponent. But, usually 6 damage is what we can hopefully count on, at least 6 if they let it go to the graveyard. And then finally, a playset of Burning Sun's Avatar. This is a pretty good card in this deck, especially whenever you have a Sunbird's Invocation, you cast 1, and then you hit another one. So you 3 damage to 2 creatures, and then 6 to your opponent, and you got 2 6/6s on the battlefield. It's pretty strong. Yeah, that's the main board. It's super fun to play. So sideboard, we got 1 Chandra's Defeat against decks that have Chandra, maybe mono red and stuff like that. Just a 1-mana answer to what they're doing. Playset of Magma Spray we can bring in against decks that have Scrap Heap Scoundrel, or more popular I'm seeing right now is decks that have the Embalm Cats and just Embalm creatures. so it's nice to be able to exile them for good. The extra braids just against, I guess, mid-range decks, you know, snake decks with Merfolk Branchwalker and Jade Light Rangers and stuff like that. We just want to kill all their, their 3 toughness threats. Got our Crook of Condemnation against graveyard decks, Godfavor's Gift decks, stuff like that. The extra Sweltering Suns whenever we're playing against creature decks, and we just want to be able to wipe the board often. And a little bit of an anti-control package, Vance's Blasting Cannons. It's just a card draw engine. We probably won't ever flip it in this deck, but just being able to have the card selection from the non-flip side is good enough. Generally speaking, I think this deck is pretty decent against control to begin with. We have so many huge threats that they aren't going to have a counter or an answer for everything. We just keep dropping 6-drop after 6-drop, and if we resolve a Sunbird's Invocation, that's really, really good against control because we're basically casting 2 spells for 1, and they can't keep up with that. So I'd say, yeah, if you in a heavy control meta game, this is a pretty decent deck against control. It's pretty good against mid-range as well. I guess super swarmy aggro decks can get us, just because our removal, other than the Sweltering Suns, our removal is spot removal, and our answers like Glorybringer and Burning Sun's Avatar are only like spot removal-ish. So, anyways, that's the deck. We'll give it a go and have some fun.